Welcome to the Maryland Means Business podcast. I'm Cal.
And I'm Chessie. Cal, before we get into the rundown, I have to ask, when's the last time you looked at a mechanic's bill and actually trusted the number?
Never. Not once in my life.
Same. Good news. Today's first story might actually fix that for you.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What else is on deck?
We've got a statewide buy local push that just kicked off, and then you're closing us out with a number that better be worthy of Chessie's rule.
Oh, it is. Let's get into it.
Okay, here's a hook for you. What if the thing standing between you and an honest repair bill wasn't your negotiating skills? It was an app. There's a founder in Bowie, Precious Jones, who built exactly that.
Wait, an AI that grades your mechanic?
Basically, it's called Fair Ride AI. You upload your repair estimate, it scores it from 1 to 100 against local price ranges, so you know if you're getting a fair shake before you approve the work.
Okay, let me play skeptic for a second. What's stopping this from just being a guess dressed up as a score?
Fair question. She used a platform called Base 44, kind of a vibe coding tool, and trained it on a stack of actual prior repair invoices to build the pricing data. So it's not a guess. It's grounded in what repairs actually cost around here.
Okay, that's a real answer, not a marketing answer. I respect that.
What gave her the idea in the first place is almost better than the product. She moved to Maryland and noticed how much repair costs shifted from what she was used to somewhere else. That gap bugged her enough to go build something about it.
I love an origin story that's just, this personally annoyed me, so I fixed it.
Right, and it's not just a napkin idea either. She entered the Greater Baltimore Urban League's pitch competition back in April, took second place, and walked away with a $6,000 grant from Wells Fargo.
Okay, that's real traction, real validation, not just a cool demo.
And it's not some abstract dashboard either. You literally upload the estimate and it walks you through it line by line. This part's about right, this part's high. Here's the typical range for a front brake job.
I have to imagine some mechanics are not thrilled about that kind of transparency showing up in their customers' pockets.
Maybe not, but the honest ones have nothing to worry about. This isn't out to shame anybody. It just gives drivers the same information a mechanic already has walking into the conversation. About 200 active users so far. You get 3 price checks at no cost, and after that, it's $4.99 a pop or $5.99 a month if you're a repeat customer.
Here's my take. This is exactly the kind of small, sharp idea that makes a real dent. It's not trying to reinvent the whole auto industry. It solves one annoying, expensive problem people actually have, and it solves it well.
And it's a Maryland founder solving it for the rest of us. I'll take that trade every time.
Fair Ride AI out of Bowie. Keep an eye on that one.
Add that one to the watch list.
All right, story number 2. And this one's got Chessie's fingerprints on it before I even say a word.
You know it. Governor Moore just declared July 17th through the 25th Buy Local Week here in Maryland.
Okay, hot take before Chessie even gets going. Buy local weeks always sound like a feel-good marketing moment to me. Convince me it's more than that.
Challenge accepted. Fun fact for the numbers guy in you then. Agriculture is Maryland's largest commercial industry. We're talking $8.25 billion a year flowing through the state's economy.
Okay, that's not feel-good marketing. That's a real number.
Right. People hear buy local and picture a cute farm stand. It's actually a multi-billion-dollar backbone, and this week is basically a marketing assist for all of it at once.
Fine, you've converted me. What's actually being asked of people this week?
There's something called the Buy Local Challenge, and it's refreshingly simple. It just wants you to put one locally grown, produced, or harvested item into your meals each day.
That challenge has been around longer than you'd think too, right?
Yep. The Southern Maryland Agricultural Development Commission started it back in 2006, and it's grown into this whole statewide thing every summer since.
The governor put it well. He said buying local isn't just supporting Maryland's small businesses. It's supporting the community, the environment, and the economy all at once.
And the Secretary of Agriculture, Kevin Addix, made a point I really liked, that when Marylanders choose local food and seafood, they're investing in the farmers, the watermen, the processors, the retailers, and the restaurants, all in one purchase.
And it's not abstract either. This is the difference between a check going to a crab boat captain in Somerset County versus a container ship somewhere in the Pacific.
That's exactly the image I have every time I drive past the docks this time of year. Same dollar, wildly different destination.
One grocery run, 5 different small businesses get a piece of it. That's a pretty efficient way to spend a paycheck.
And speaking of things happening this exact week, if you need an excuse to go say hi to a Main Street shop, Third Eye Comics opens their 9th location this Saturday in Glen Burnie. Not food, but same spirit, same week.
Look at you, working in a callback.
I contain multitudes, Cal.
So if you're a business owner listening, this week is a built-in reason to remind your customers you're the local option. Lean into it while people are already primed to think that way.
Okay, Cal, I believe it's your turn to bring the big number.
Oh, I have been saving this one all show.
Chessie's rule. Biggest number last. Go.
$13.3 billion. That's what got kept out of the region's pockets, out of our pockets, thanks to a price cap Maryland pushed for in this year's PJM capacity auction.
Okay, back up before you lose half our listeners. What is a capacity auction? In plain English.
Sure. Think of it like this. PJM runs the regional power grid across 13 states plus DC, including us. Every so often, they hold an auction to lock in how much power generation gets paid to be ready and available years out. This one was for 2028 and 2029.
So it's basically pre-booking the region's electricity supply.
Exactly. And the price that gets set in that auction ripples straight into everybody's utility bill, homes and businesses both. This year, that price landed right at the administrative cap, $325 per megawatt day, instead of climbing higher.
And that cap is the thing that saved the $13.3 billion.
Right. That's the number they're crediting to holding the line at that cap across the whole PJM footprint, which covers Maryland, 12 other states, and D.C. And it stacks on top of what we've already talked about on this show. The Utility Relief Act is expected to shave hundreds of dollars a year off residential bills. And the states already put out $200 million in direct rebates, plus another $100 million through relief.
I'm going to push back a little, just to be the skeptic here. Isn't this the kind of number that's easy for any state to take credit for after the fact?
Totally fair to ask, but this isn't decided after the fact. The administrative cap is a rule built into how the auction runs. So when the price lands on that ceiling, the savings are automatic and real, not a talking point somebody added afterward.
Okay, that's a real distinction. For a business owner, though, why does any of this matter beyond electricity just being expensive?
Two ways, really. First, the direct one. Because your power bill isn't fixed, it's exposed to exactly this kind of regional auction. When the cap holds, your rate pressure eases. When it doesn't, you feel it on every bill, every month for years, whether you run a restaurant walk-in cooler or a full manufacturing floor.
And the second way?
The confidence to plan. If you're budgeting 3 years out for a new location or a bigger lease, knowing the region just fought off a spike instead of absorbing one makes that math a little less terrifying.
So today's takeaway is genuinely just this is one of those quiet wins that doesn't come with a ribbon cutting, but it shows up in your bottom line eventually.
That's the whole game with energy costs. Nobody throws a parade for a price cap holding, but ask any owner watching their overhead if they'd notice the difference. They would.
$13.3 million. Chessie's rule delivers again.
Never fails.
Couldn't have said it better.
All right, that's the show for today. But before we go, 2 quick things.
First, our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Maryland Smart Energy. Smarter buildings, smaller bills.
They help Maryland businesses cut energy costs through utility-funded programs, nothing out of pocket. And given the timing of that last story, keeping your own energy costs down is not a bad thing to be thinking about right now.
Through September, they're doing HVAC tune-ups with no out-of-pocket cost, fully funded through Empower Maryland. If your system's been groaning through this heat, get it looked at before it turns into a real problem.
And here's the honest version of that pitch. You're already paying into the Empower Maryland charge on your utility bill every month. Maryland Smart Energy just helps you actually use what you're already paying for.
Find them at mdsmartenergy.com.
And since we're on the subject of being upfront, quick reminder that this show is made almost entirely with AI. We're deliberate about which tools we use too. One's from companies that cover their own energy and grid costs instead of pushing them on Maryland households and small businesses. Same idea as our sponsor. Keep the costs where they belong.
Every fact and figure in this episode is sourced and linked in the show notes, so go check our work.
If you like today's episode, find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or on YouTube if you'd rather watch than listen.
And head to marylandmeans.business for the newsletter, so you get the rundown before we even hit record.
I'm Chessie.
I'm Cal.
And remember, Maryland means business.